Okay, so I want to show you my process for finding a spot to hunt elk. So we're in a new area, so I'm going in blind. I've done some research ahead. We've done our e-scouting, but I'm going to show you what I look for on the ground as I'm trying to navigate where to hunt. And I'm looking for sort of three factors: presence of elk, huntability of an area, and ultimately I'm looking for ideal conditions to hunt. So I'm just going to take you on that process of sort of looking for sign and an area to hunt, and show you how that goes. So I'm working my way up the river, and I'm just looking for two things, which is sort of huntable terrain and huntable kind of forest. So you can see it's starting to open it up in here a little bit. I can see at least 50, 60 yards. This is probably enough. And then it's also super steep though. So trying to get an elk to come down on top of me might be tough. So I got to get up a little bit, at least to have the option of it kind of moving up underneath me or across towards me. So that's the next stop. All right, so I've been working my way up the hill here, and I finally got to a bench that's going to offer me some options here. It's not quite as steep, so if an animal's coming down above me, I can have better vantage looking up at it. I'm off this steep stuff. I've got good vantage if something comes up below me. Still a bit too steep, but it's just sort of... There goes Moosey right there. Well, I've been following that moose all day because he's showing me where the trail is. Anyways, back to the lesson plan here. These sort of undulations make it easy to sort of see stuff on the next bump. So I'm looking for a spot like this. The next thing I want to look for is just sign. I'm coming up this one trail, and there's some fresh sign on it, which turns out to be our moosey friend there. And but at least it's a trail, and that's a good sign. And I'll keep moving on here until I find some fresh elk sign before I stop and call. A lot of brush here. It's open enough to see an elk, but maybe not open enough to get a bullet through the brush. Yeah, up on that bench, I got way more options to work with. And now I just got to find a spot with a bit of concentration of sign. Rub is great, or even some fresh tracks would be great. Okay, this is what I've been looking for all day, just some fresh sign of bull activity. And yeah, just in a spot they like to do it, which is kind of on a prominent spot where they can have a view and beat up a tree. Oh, in the bull zone. Okay, so I settled on this spot to set up to call. Nice bench below me, got a steep slope above me, which I can actually see things, animals potentially coming down. I've got the bench running out this way. Now the key thing is to think about wind. I'll show you here, if I go back here. Wind, I'll also show you. See the wind kind of pushing, hopefully in that direction there. And so I'm expecting that this, if there's elk above me, which I hope there is, that they'll come down off this ridge up here, and then they'll work their way down, trying to wind me, and I'll get one crack at seeing them. There's also potential they'll come from behind, but most likely they're going to come in kind of downwind of me. So that's why I got this spot set up where I've got real good view corridors of the area downwind. All right, so a recap from yesterday's lessons and what I learned. So I was trying to pick a spot that I felt like I could hunt. So I'm looking for timber that's relatively mature or open. Ultimately, I'm just looking for an area where there's not too much brush. There's a ton of brush in this country. We're hunting a new zone that I'm unfamiliar with, and I don't know where those pockets of niceness are yet. So I sort of identified a ridge that looked good. It had some timber on it. It had some steep spots, but it also had some low angle, benchy looking stuff, which I thought might be, I was optimistic could work out. When I finally got up and out of the thick stuff, I did get in some nice timber. I didn't find the density of sign that I'd hoped to really make me feel I was excited about hunting the zone, but I still set up and called, having the features that I was looking for, that sort of decent view corridors, not too steep, so that I had a bit of vantage looking down or looking up. I had an elk coming down on me, and sure enough, I called in an elk. That was exciting. It was a yearling bull, and not a legal bull. That said, I still didn't find the amount of sign I was hoping to find. And so I'm back here for day 2. Now, on my way out, I did hear an elk bugling on the adjacent ridge that I was hunting on. So that gave me optimism to go look at that today. Now, the other factors, of course, anytime you hunt, with a group of people and you're sharing information. And we spread out this morning, the three of us, Jenny, Tommy, and I, and everybody's hunting a slightly different ecosystem, hopefully finding more sign or ultimately elk. In the case of Tommy, oh, I hear some bugling, but that might be our friends across the way. Tommy and Jenny, they're hunting lower elevation stuff. They're right down on the riverbed. It's super thick. They were optimistic because they found lots of sign, but the result of their hunt was they called in animals. They had action, but they couldn't see them. It was kind of unhuntable in the sense. So I opted to find a place that was huntable with fewer elk. So that'll see how that plays out over the course of the week. If we continue to go that route, I'll continue to look for places I can find spots I can kill an elk. Whether there's an elk in there or not, I'm not sure yet. Whereas they're drawn to the higher concentrations of sign, but also much thicker and more difficult to hunt. So we'll see how it goes. I'm on my way up the hill, hopefully find this bull, and hopefully Jenny's got a bull going down below me, which I can hear now. So I'm working my way up through this less than optimal, steep, thick, not really huntable. Starting to show some signs of improvement as I look uphill. It's getting a little bit better, not perfect, but I'll keep going until I find some sign of that bull living in the area. Hopefully scrapes or rubs, and then I'll settle in and call and hope for the best. All right, so I've got my spot here. Working way up this hill has been really challenging, lots of blowdown, not very nice. Finally found some decent elk country. I'm gonna sit here, you can see a little cover kind of nested in here. And I'll switch the camera around and kind of see my view. So there's decent view corridor, still really thick. Elk will be really comfortable in this. And I finally found some elk sign and some country I can hunt. So I'm gonna settle in here for a bit, hope for the best. Oh, and the wind's kind of in my face, and I expect the elk to kind of come off top of this hill and work their way either down the one ridge there or the ridge over here. Hopefully I'll get a look. Wasn't much fun getting up here, but see, this is definitely where the elk are. High use traffic. So all right, so I'm into a zone that's like elky and I can hunt it. But the third factor is huntability. It was unhuntable with the wind. Can't call, can't hear anything. Animals will be hunkered down in this wind. So disappointing because I finally put it all together here. I feel good about the spot. But I don't know if it's worth hunting it because I'm just gonna screw it up. So maybe come back another time or just sit and wait and hope the wind dies down and then start calling. So I'm hunting with Jenny today, and she's just gonna go a little bit to the left of me on the downwind side. And we're sort of anticipating that if there's an animal here, he'll come off the ridge here, work his way over downwind of me, the caller, towards the shooter down there. So we kind of have it all coming together here for us. We've got good shooting lanes and good elk habitat. We got fresh bull sign, and most importantly, nice still morning, which we haven't had the last couple of days. So Jenny sounds like she's set up there, so I'll start calling. So elk hunting just got a lot more interesting. Heard actually three shots from Jenny's direction. First one sounded like a solid hit, so pretty excited, and just waiting to hear back on the phone if successful or not. Yeah, this will be exciting. Jenny's been just this year 5 maybe of elk hunting together, and she's yet to connect on an elk, so this could be great. Excited. So Jenny's just you ready to go look?
I think he's been down for about 25 minutes.
Okay.
So I'm gonna grab my pack and then...
Well, why don't we wait for Tommy and he can be part of this moment if it all works out.
Got him.
Oh, it's a beauty too. Congratulations, Jenny.
Thank you.
Right on. So Jenny with her elk, and you can see that Jenny put it all together today. Nice open country, well, relatively open. Calling elk into some good shooting lanes. And thanks for capping off this video, Jenny. Good job. Congratulations. First bull, Jenny?
First ball.
Right on. How's it feel?
Feels great. Feels like success.
Yeah, right on. There you go. Well, that's a successful elk hunt, Jenny. Well done. Putting all those lessons to work.
All the eat wild lessons to work.